Hi, and welcome back to Paperclip Wine Time.
How did the spirit fingers become a thing?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I kind of like it.
I like it too. It reminds me of Bring It On.
Oh, yeah. I was never a cheerleader. Couldn't stand those bitches. They didn't like me. Whatever.
All right, guys.
So,
Welcome
proceed
back.
to the favorite part of the
Our
episode.
favorite part of the episode, of course, is the beginning of the episode, when we do our spirit fingers and then we welcome our wine. Today we are going back to the fancy Gallo family Moscato because we are doing a little recap and might as well recap with our favorite wines.
Girl.
Alright guys, let's enjoy the little sounds. Look at there wasn't even anything in there yet.
You're teasing! I don't like a tease.
Oh, tease.
No one likes a tease. Go. Sounds so pretty.
So fancy.
It's like the wind blowing in my hair. The rainbow is out. The birds are singing. That's what that sound reminds me of.
Wow.
Kind of like a Snow White moment.
Snow White with a little Moscato?
Mm-hmm, girl.
That sounds
You
like
know
a dream
Snow
to
White
me.
needed a little fucking wine in her life.
Yeah, that sounds like a dream to me.
Cheers.
Cheers, Cheers, you guys.
Always sweet. It's a Moscato.
Speaking of dreams.
Oh, Jesus Christ. We were just diving right in there.
Speaking of dreams.
You dream about me?
Always. 'Cause hello.
Abby!
Like no voice. Wow. I figured we might as well just jump into our happy subjects today.
Oh, yes.
So speaking of dreams, that story
With from the
TikTok.
Japanese or the TikTok guy.
TikTok.
Oh, we're talking about 420 dog face. Hey, he became famous for that TikTok video of him riding his longboard, drinking his ocean spray
straight out the bottle.
straight out
Esas
the
cosas.
straight out the bottle. Okay, I mean, do you boo boo? And then singing along to the famous song "Dreams" by Fleetwood Mac.
So what if I start singing dreams and start drinking out of my Starbucks?
No, I'm not gonna put that down. You gotta drink the wine.
I'm just saying, maybe
The wine,
Starbucks wants
the
to give
wine.
me a lifetime supply.
Oh
of
yeah,
coffee.
right. You never know. But great news about him because he is. Well, I guess I found out that he's a potato farmer in Idaho. Idaho.
I know, but you don't have to say it out loud.
That is my favorite line to say after the state of Idaho. Idaho.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he actually, Nissan partnered up with Ocean Spray, gifted him an amazing 4-door truck and a truckload
truckload
of Ocean Spray drinks. The bottles and the glasses and all that stuff, different sizes and all that stuff. But good for him. Great news.
And he's gotten some really awesome feedback from Fleetwood Mac.
Fleetwood Mac, Cheech and Chong, who are like
Hello.
Tuk, my favorite, have given them all feedback. A lot of people have tried to remake. The CEO of Ocean Spray remade the video. It's the Fleetwood remake the video. We just saw. Oh my God, Stevie Nicks remake the video. Honestly, obviously not as good as the original, but hey, it's Stevie Nicks, so she can get away with it. And she was sporting them roller skate, those roller
And she was
skates.
singing, so it's okay.
It's okay.
You know,
it's her.
you
Oh,
gotta
excuse
love
me.
that.
I'm a little parched.
Yeah, girl, you need a little wine. Chug.
So, yeah, that was a good story. And a good happy ending, I think. I found out that he actually is a single dad. He's, but his daughter's already an adult. But he is a single dad, and they live in a trailer in Idaho, in a trailer park. But man, he got himself a new truck, a supply of drinks that's gonna last him a while.
You know, he ain't
And he's
gonna be
gotten very
complaining.
popular on TikTok and on Instagram. He's gotten over 1 million followers already.
Nice.
Because all he does is dancing videos. He's so cute.
Oh, that is so
And it's
awesome.
like he's like a excuse me, it's like his style of dancing is like Cholo meets the moves that he's doing. So like all those moves that he does, like all the popular dances, he redoes them, but with like a little Cholo twist.
Ooh,
and he calls all his followers his 420 soul jazz. So, you know, because he smokes weed and he's very like loud and proud about it. So good for him. Like, makes me happy to hear someone out there is.
I mean, I appreciate the fact that even though he is open about being, you know, 420 happy, that's cool. But hey, at least in that video, yeah, he's recording and whatnot, but he's not on a longboard. He ain't gonna run nobody over.
No.
So we're good.
Yeah.
Stick to the weed on the longboard and not on the truck. You gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Please drive responsibly.
Yeah.
And you know, toke responsibly too. Yes, I said toke.
Girl, I didn't know you knew that word. I don't know she knew that.
I heard it in the hood. I'm from the streets.
I'm from the streets. What do they call you on the streets?
La gorda.
Ay, amiga, ¿qué voy a hacer contigo? Jenny, por favor, ayúdame con su hija, men. Que ya, honestamente. ¿Quién se comió mis pupusas hablando de Jenny? Ya que me acordé.
Natalie o Karen, no sé.
Se comieron mis pupusas, Jenny. Look, yo le pido miles perdones porque no pude llegar a visitarla por su cumpleaños. Pero estaba tan feliz esperando mis pupusitas. Dije. I was being serious, but la cagaste.
No.
Let me finish. Estaba esperando mis pupusitas. Keep a straight face. Y dije, ok, no pude llegar a ver Jenny, pero a mi amiga, mi mejor amiga, me las va a guardar. Que me las ponga en el freezer, no me importa, yo las meto en el microwave el siguiente día. Voy preguntándole a mi amiga, mis pupusitas. No, creo que la Natalie se las comió. Su otra hija se comió mis pupusas. Ah, no. No.
Yo no fui.
Fue Tete.
Pégale que se fue. No, yeah. No, I don't know. I came back that day, I came back and they were gone. I was like,
oh, yeah, it's okay. Whatever.
Pupusas don't last in this house.
I could tell, girl, no pupusas last at anybody's house.
So I was cracking up because when my mom came in, she went to eat the floor line.
And we're going to take a sip. We started talking.
And she was like, Mami, te caliento tu pupusita. ¿Quieres que te caliente la pupusita? I was like, Mom, ¿qué son esas ofrecidas?
Es una niña.
Es inocente.
Oh, okay. Moving on. Sorry, we got sidetracked by Jenny's story, but
it's
thank
okay.
you, Jenny.
That part's gonna be cut out and just sent to my mom.
Stop.
From the episode, yes.
Why?
Because it's in Spanish.
So what? Your tía in El Salvador could understand that part. Don't laugh so hard. Don't edit that out. It's cute. It's funny. It's off script.
We're not drunk, I promise. Look, we just poured, and this is like my second or third sip.
We just haven't seen each other in 24 hours.
I think because you took a nap.
I am well rested. Because last week, girl, you saw me. I was over here. You were talking, and it was serious. And you know, I do apologize because I was yawning. I just couldn't help myself. And you know, like right afterwards, I just went straight to your bed
and zonked out.
I literally passed out. Y ella, pobrecita, le tocó limpiar todo. She had to pick up everything and clean everything. I passed out. When I finally woke up from my slumber, this bitch was in her pajamas laying next to me.
Yeah, ain't nobody gonna kick me out of my bed.
No, she was like, oh, you want to cuddle? I was like, no, I gotta go home. Buy me a drink first. Oh, wait, you didn't buy me a drink that day.
Huh?
You did buy me a drink.
Yeah.
You buy me a drink every week. You buy me a drink every week.
Like, I bought wine. we had drinks.
Yeah.
Like good drinks too. And I still have the leftover wine.
That's another one.
Mm-hmm.
Next day, bloop, 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 bloop. Okay, sorry guys. We always get sidetracked because everything is so funny for us. Moving on to the other cute, amazing story that happened was Mr. Jesse Katayama from Japan. Arigato. Annyeonghaseyo is Korean. Never mind. Arigato. I was going to say irashimasu. That's all I know. Sorry to my Japanese friends. I do apologize. I worked at a Japanese restaurant only for a year. So all I know. Tanaka-san. Tanaka is the last name, and san is for Mr. or Sir or whatever. So that's all I know.
The only reason I know that is because Daniel-san. Yes, Karate Kid original. What's that?
Oh, that is funny. I didn't even remember that. Oh shit. But arigato irashimasu. Jesse Katayama was traveling to Peru from Japan to visit the ruins of Machu Picchu and was staying at Aguascalientes. And for the unfortunate event of COVID, he ended up getting stuck in Aguascalientes for about 7 months. He went there in middle of March when everything poof. And
just closed.
And everything closed. So Machu Picchu ended up closing. And now that everything is starting to reopen, he was able to travel back home. Before he went, he actually wrote a plea and a letter to the agriculture
in
Peru. And they granted him a day by himself in Machu Picchu. He just had the main tourist guy or whatever go with him, and he was able to take that famous picture in front of the Machu Picchu.
I think that's super amazing, because I'm like, it is obviously an inconvenience when you have your perfect trip plan and you get stuck there.
Yep.
And for this guy to get stuck there for 7 months, how often do you go on a trip and go prepared to stay there for 7 months when your trip is probably for a week or two, and you're like, okay, I know my money ain't ready for 2 months.
I know, he rented,
for 2 weeks, much less 7 months.
He rented either a room or a small apartment, I can't remember. And but yeah, he just kept, living his life on a daily basis, like started becoming friends with locals, and like he said, everyone was so friendly, so nice. They were like, the neighbors were cooking for him, and just they were just showing him a nicer side of Latin America that he said he's never seen.
That community that's in Latin America.
And he was very excited and happy to go finally see the ruins, and he is finally back in Japan, so I'm glad he's got to see it. Yes. And I'm glad Peru allowed him.
He's back home.
Yeah.
And not only did he get to see the Machu Picchu ruins, which is amazing. The homie, you did not have the people standing behind you photobombing your picture. You had the best pictures ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is amazing.
Yep.
I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
Peru, you want to give me
Let me go write a letter to the agriculture of Peru.
I've been stuck here, broke.
I just can't afford to go see you. Can you send me?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love having feel good stories.
I know.
For feel good stories, let's go down to a little sad stuff. Oh God. So the NBA Finals.
Oh God. Look, first of all, let me just say I don't hate basketball. No, I hate basketball. That's one sport that I don't like golf, I don't like basketball, I don't like tennis. 3 major sports I do not like watching. But it was really sad. Well, congratulations first of all to all the Lakers. Mm-hmm. You guys won in a year where the city needed you guys to win. We had just lost Kobe at the beginning of the year, and you guys took it out there and won.
Gave it your all.
Yeah.
Super awesome.
Turn around from that, and it's sad that the NBA Finals had the lowest ratings in history. Obviously, we all know it's due to COVID. Mm-hmm. We all know it's due to COVID. Mm-hmm. And no fans being allowed due to COVID. So, it kind of sucks for them, but at the same time, hey, you guys are champions. That's a little bit more money in your pocket next year. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw one of the games with Bob.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And it was just so. To me, like obviously, I'm not the biggest basketball fan, but I do enjoy watching it once in a while. Watch a little bit here and there, you know. But it's like, to me, it was kind of like, this is weird. Like
they look like they're college students playing because it's just it looks like a smaller court.
Yeah.
There's no fans, or there's like the holograms.
The
holograms.
The holograms. No, it's the screens. They're actually screens.
I know they're holograms on the seats.
No.
On individual seats. They're individual seats. There's individual people sitting on the.
Oh yeah.
On the holograms.
But they're like through webcams.
Yeah, they're from webcams.
And I'm like, that's not the same. It's not like when you go to the game and you're at the stadium and you're doing the waves and you know, you're like, defense. You know, and you hear the stomping of the feet. That's the fun. I'm sorry. I love going to sporting events live and in person.
Oh yeah, me too.
I can like dislike the sport or dislike the team, but I will go to a sporting event just so I can have
the energy.
That energy of the crowd, of the everything. It gets so exciting. I went to a Galaxy game and I was like, I don't like Galaxy. I don't like soccer.
Excuse you?
I was traumatized with soccer with my husband, so I have earned the right to dislike soccer. I have earned the right to dislike soccer games.
How?
But I did go see the Galaxy.
Look, when you are put in the back burner because your little brother is destined to be a soccer god, and yet he had an injury and he couldn't finish. Whatever. Now that's traumatizing. Because even my sister remembers little moments where he was put in the limelight and we were put in the back seat because he was the soccer god in the family. So yes, I do understand where you're coming from. But don't be dissing the Galaxy. Don't be dissing the Galaxy, man. The original LA team, fuck the LAFC, whatever the fuck they're called. Yeah, they're all owned by Hollywood now. Sorry, they're really.
But like I said, even though I personally do not like the Galaxy, I did like going to their games because you get into that ambiance. You know that.
Did you go to the Rose Bowl?
No, the one in Carson.
Okay, yeah, it used to be the Home Depot Center. I forgot what the hell it's called now.
I don't know. I haven't been there
now. Oh my god, it's so bad. I can't. It's not on the top of my head, but I took Bob to his first soccer game, LA Galaxy game, when we first started dating, and same thing. We got drunk a little bit in the parking lot because we were trying to be cheap, and I spent all the extra monies inside the concession stands because they be pricey. And then we got a free Galaxy t-shirt. So what the hell happened to his? But I got mine. But it's like the original colors, that yellow with the green. And when Cienfuegos was on the team, go Salvador. And Jorge Ramos. No, not Ramos. Campos. Jorge Ramos is the
Ramos is the
news
guy.
Oh yeah, girl. That's the other one I had a crush on. He was the Anderson Cooper of the Latin America.
He was.
Yeah, he's aged horribly. Why do you say was?
I don't like him.
Why don't you like him?
I don't like him.
Why? There has to be a reason. Bad broadcasting. He's done something wrong. Girl, because I like the way he fucking steps to fucking Trump. Like, he makes sure he pushes questions and only once.
Yeah, but I kind of feel like he also attacks. I don't know. I just don't like him. So.
Okay. Well, we'll leave it at that. But Jorge Campos, the Mexican soccer player that played for LA Galaxy.
Yeah, he was cool. Jorge Campos was cool.
Yeah, he was good. He was really good. Cienfuegos was amazing for being a little salvadoreño and shit, you know.
I don't know about Cienfuegos, but Jorge Campos I was cool with.
You don't know who Cienfuegos was? Or
no, I know who Cienfuegos was. I know who Jorge Campos was. And
Kobe Jones?
Kobe Jones, come on.
Oh my god, so he was so sexy.
There was this one guy, I don't remember what team he was in or what his name was, something like maybe Jose Luis Hernandez or something like that. But he was in a soccer team, and Robert loved the team, but
you can't remember the team?
I can't remember the team. Okay, I think it was the Mexico team or something.
Ooh, did he like America?
I don't know.
Or did he like Chivas?
No.
Monterrey? Veracruz?
Girl, I don't know. No, but
okay, I'll just
he was some type of
Santos. Okay, no. Okay, yeah.
I said
what color? What colors were the team? Do you remember?
Or Luis Hernandez or something like that. I don't remember.
You don't. Do you remember the colors of the team?
I remember the color of his hair, which is like a lightish brown, and he had like the curls, and it was like all down.
It's oh, girl.
So I remember a lot of these soccer players from early 2000s, late 90s, because Robert would be watching them a lot. So I have to find.
Te cansas, because I was at that point also with soccer because of my brother, like I said. But once I became an adult, and then I cherished all those moments that my mom took us to soccer games to go watch the Galaxy, front row and center, and 4th of July was our tradition to eat before. And then go watch the game, and then stay to watch the fireworks, and then get a couple of hot dogs and go home. That was our 4th of July tradition with my mom, because her bosses would get season tickets, and when they couldn't go to the games, or whatever, they would give her tickets, or my mom would just buy tickets for all of us. So those were like, once I became an adult, I'm like, oh my god, yes, I am an original LA Galaxy fan. That's what I can remember and take from that. But trust me, I hated it for a long time because of my brother, because he was always on the road, and like my mom would have to leave, like go to Texas and travel. But it was so good for my brother because he had an amazing outlet when it came to soccer from like 5 years old all the way till he was like 20. He played for many years. So it was, but like I said, I felt like I was putting them back burner. So I was like, because my mom never went to like my softball games, never my track meets. It was all during the week and like during the day. So it's like shit. But if my brother had a soccer game,
you have to take the principal to the training.
Yeah. So Cecilia, I guess I was a little jealous. But like I said, I do cherish those moments of like my mom always taking us to go watch LA Galaxy, and it wasn't when like I said, I can't remember the stadium right now. But what I remember as the Home Depot Center, it was at the Rose Bowl. We used to go to the Rose Bowl. So I used to drive all the way from South Central all the way to the Rose Bowl just to go and watch the LA Galaxy teams. But it was fun, and those are the good memories that I have now. So I feel kind of bad because I can't do that with my kids. But with Bella, I have taken her to LA Galaxy games that now she remembers and now she loves and stuff. And so she's a Galaxy fan. So I'm glad at least we can do that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
well, you used to be able to do that.
Yeah, you used to.
Because not thanks to COVID.
Yeah. I know I was watching the Dodgers play earlier today against the Atlanta Braves, which they lost. But we were talking about how, the NBA had the lowest ratings for this championship finals or whatever. And then baseball, I don't know what the ratings are right now, but even looking at the stadium, you know how baseball stadiums are huge, right? Bigger than basketball stadiums. Yeah. Everything's so close to when a basketball stadium. They had fans, because Bob's like, well, I don't think there's any fans. I'm like, there has to be some fans, because I know that some stadiums were allowing to have their own bubbles. And so once they panned out and we were talking about it, I kid you not, it was like a group of 5 people, a group of here, a group there. Okay, and there's so it's literally like, you know how they have the sections, right? So let's say this whole section was only the middle seats were taken, like here, and then they were like skip like 6, and then here. Which is awesome, but it still kind of sucks that a lot of people
miss out. It's not the same vibe.
It's not. It's not,
because it's like you can't even throw the beach ball around.
Yeah, because it was just go whoop, and there's no one there to catch it.
Yeah, it's like ain't nobody gonna come down 5-6 rows just to catch the ball and be like, which direction am I throwing this one at? Let me throw it up. Oh,
but let me just tell you this.
I got it right here.
But let me just say, I do appreciate the fact that all the leagues, and I mean all, are trying to minimize the outbreak of COVID and still keep fans entertained. As far as like the NBA, they were down in Florida. Every NBA team was playing at the same place, so they were having minimal contact with other, instead of like traveling from one to another and one to another. And then I just found out today, which Bob told me, that the baseball league, both the National League and the American League, are playing. One is playing in San Diego, so let's say all the American League is playing in San Diego, and then all of the National League is playing in Texas. So they're doing the same thing, but they're just having the 2 different leagues that they have for MLB play at that same stadium. So they're trying to minimize, like I said, the spread of
Exposure,
COVID. Of COVID. I know football has been a little bit different. They just haven't had fans, so it kind of does suck. Like I said, but thank God that at least something has gotten started.
Despite the lack of fans, the Raiders kicked ass this weekend because they won their first game as representatives of Las Vegas. Las Vegas Raiders.
That was like what, 2 weeks ago?
That was this week.
No, their first game was 2 weeks ago.
Okay, but they won this week.
Okay.
They won this weekend, and this weekend my mama and my niece were here, and we went to the Raiders headquarters, and it was fun. So, way to go, Raiders!
Not a Raiders. I'm still loyal. Appreciate that. Yeah, no, I just never
never ask me for the name of a football player because I don't know.
Jerry Rice.
No, I mean Reggie Bush.
Ooh, that's a good one, girl.
Yeah.
I just remember.
What team does he play with? I don't know. Wasn't he with a Kardashian?
He was with Kim too. Well, who was Kim not with? Let me just tell you. But point is,
that's a much shorter list.
Jerry Rice. Why do I remember Jerry Rice? I think
because you want rice-a-roni?
Oh, girl. You know what? I don't like rice-a-roni. The San Francisco treat. I should because I'm a Niners fan. No, I'm just kidding. But the point is, thank you to all the leagues for trying to protect everyone. Thank you to all the leagues for still entertaining the fans. You guys
for keeping us in your thoughts and keeping us entertained. Here's a little cheers to all this. Oh yeah, hold on, she's driving. To all the beautiful sports leagues. Cheers.
Okay, well, from going to all these feel-good news and the unfortunate news of the low ratings for the championship for the NBA,
still mad props to the LA Lakers for winning.
Yes.
What's up, LA? Come on.
I'm just not an NBA fan. I'm sorry. Can't get with it. Oh, I'm just gonna say this. Now that I just remembered talking about LA, I was highly disappointed to see after the championship a bunch of people were either at the Staples. They were at the Staples Center. I don't know if they were watching the game there or they were going there after they won. There were, I want to say, I don't know, a couple of hundred people that I did see. No one was wearing a mask. No one was social distancing.
What did we say last week, y'all? What did we say last week?
Esta peda. Hasta las greñas se le fue.
What did we say last week? Stay safe. Wear a mask. Come on, y'all. It's not
Wear
hard.
fucking Lakers mask. Come on.
Hell yeah. You want to rep the Lakers? Go ahead.
I don't know. It was just like, I was disappointed because if you believe it or not, we've said this multiple times. Just worry about other people. Be considerate. Be a human being and be mindful of others around you. You don't know who has a grandmother at home who's had sick, who has a mother, who has a child who has had heart problems, whatever it is that's at home. And just because you decide not to wear a mask, they did. You never know if they could still catch it. Yes, we're wearing our mask to help prevent it, but you just never know. They can have a mask with a filter and it still gets in it. It doesn't matter. Point is, think about others before you think about yourself in that sense. Period.
Better to be safe than sorry. Nobody wants to carry that guilty conscience in their hearts if they find out that somebody that they were around without a mask happens to have contracted COVID and contracted somebody close to their family. And you never want to do that. Even with the whole Trump having COVID, I don't even wish him any bad. But come on, guys, it's common sense. And so this situation is completely, part of the past. The least we can do as human beings is be considerate and be cautious. And wear a freaking mask.
Take care of each other.
Yes. You don't wear masks right here because I know where she is.
Nowhere.
She knows where I am.
At home.
And when I'm not at home, I'm always with my mask.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we walk around with our mask. Like, don't look at me. You don't know my life.
That's why I haven't shaved my bigote for in a couple of weeks. Because I wear my mask in public.
No, that's why I haven't been wearing makeup until... this is the only time I wear makeup. I go to work and it's like all my blotchiness is everywhere. Like,
the first time that I've worn makeup this season, just because the home situation and process.
This is totally gonna have one of those applauding audiences sounds. Mm-hmm.
Aileen wearing her face again. Yeah, just because the whole house situation was just like, even like I told you, I put this face on in 5 minutes, which I'm pretty proud of myself. Mm-hmm. Let me just tell you.
All right, so
moving on.
We said last week that that was going to be the last episode in our series. I am, but it doesn't hurt to recap.
No, it does not, guys.
It does not. Mm-mm. And since somebody was falling asleep halfway through the episode last week,
I'm sorry. Don't bring it up again.
Definitely bring this back up. This will be the last actual episode of the series I Am, for reals though.
But this is not titled I Am, this is just I Am Recap.
Yes, this is the I Am Recap. Alright, so a couple of the subjects that we did cover in I Am, of course, started off with unapologetic. And I'm still unapologetic because I am this cute and I don't apologize for being this cute. Okay?
All day, every day. I don't apologize for being my bitchiness. I'm just saying. I own it. Mm-hmm. I know it and I own it. So be unapologetic about it. If you're going to be a bitch, own it. Mm-hmm. Don't apologize for it. Just don't be rude about it.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a way you can do it. I'm bitchy. I'm not a bitch. There's a difference. We covered this on that episode.
Yes, we did. Another episode we did is I Am Persistent, and we both very much brought out why we're persistent and what matters we are persistent.
OCD.
And every woman out there should remain persistent in the overall cause, or the overall subject. Persistence. Mother's love. Mm-hmm. She don't love.
No.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
And we did a Survivor.
I'm a survivor.
I'm not gonna give up.
That's the only thing I know.
Seriously, yeah?
I know. I've never been a Destiny's Child fan. I know. Like. But yes, I Am a Survivor was last week's episode.
And we did cover a pretty difficult subject, which we both agree does actually require some more depth conversation. And I think that is one of the conversations that we should open up on our next actual live. When we do our next actual live,
when is that going to be?
Another actual live.
When is that going to
be? That will be determined at one point. At one point. But yes, one thing I did want to touch base on in the I Am a Survivor episode is mental health. Mm-hmm. Simply because one thing I didn't mention in my story was the fact that before anything came out in the light, my mom didn't notice a lot of changes in my character and my attitude. So she did actually take me to therapy. Mm-hmm. So I was in therapy for about 2 years with this amazing therapist. Unfortunately, because of the threats that I have been brainwashed with, I never opened up to her about it. Mm-hmm. But she had a suspicion, so she kept trying to kind of be like, I need you to open up and talk. I would talk about, oh, my brother's an asshole, my brother kicks my butt, my brother and sisters call me fat, I get bullied at school. But she always knew, she always knew there was something more. Yeah, and that I wasn't bringing it out. So that's one thing that I feel that everybody should be very open to. I don't know why
There's such a stigma.
Yeah, there's this stigma about it,
like if you're like you have screws lost in your head, or if you're like dumb, or if you're like really like something is really wrong with your head for you to go to a therapist.
Yeah.
No.
Nothing needs to be wrong for you to go to therapy.
You just need someone to listen to you.
Yeah. And it could be for anything. I mean, it could be, you know, in your case, you know, just to have somebody to talk to that will kind of give you steps. Because here's the thing. When you're talking to your girlfriends about your relationship, about your life, about motherhood, about running your house, about
they're
all
going
of
to
this
be
stuff,
blowing up your ass.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, yeah, girl,
And
yeah,
I say it because I know I do.
Yeah.
That's how I feel I need to support my friends, is by blowing up their ass.
Yeah.
Saying, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you know, this, you are valid, your feelings are valid, blah, 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 blah. Therapy goes more in depth of why you feel that way. I'm not a therapist. I can't tell you, you know, you're feeling this way because of this, this, and that. No, I'm just trying to like be there for you as a friend and listen.
Mm-hmm.
A therapist is gonna open up more channels in your head that you weren't aware you had.
Yeah, the therapist is a specially trained person. This person has undergone an extensive study of the human brain reaction characters, you know, and they will go ahead and dig in. Right now, I was actually talking to my friend today, and I mentioned that therapy is something that I'm actually looking into right now. I just got my
benefits,
my benefits card, you know, and everything. So I'm like, that's one of the things that I have to take advantage of, because I'm like, I know I have Aileen, I know I have my mom, I have so many people I can talk to, but here's the thing: I also know the benefits of therapy. I know that when I speak to a therapist about the things that are perturbing me right now, the therapist is going to be able to give me an outsider's perspective and be adamant about asking me what makes me feel this way. You know, because you know the issues I'm going through right now, and I'm kind of like, I know I get amazing feedback from friends and family, but sometimes you need a therapist to kind of dig deep and see why I feel this way, why I want to act certain ways, why I want to push people certain ways. So that's one of the things that I did want to bring up on tonight's episode. Therapy is not bad.
It's not a negative.
It's not a negative thing. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you look like you're insane. It just means that you are open to get help and be analyzed by a professional to help you overcome whatever situation you're going through. I was very fortunate that my mom was able to do that, because I think if I wouldn't have gone through those years of therapy with Kim, I think that was her name. Yeah, I think her name was Kim something. But she was a child behavioral therapist. She actually went through a lot of stuff with me, helped me improve in my self-esteem, in my communication with my siblings, keeping me from, you know, busting out with a butcher knife trying to stab my brother because he was calling me fat.
Aww.
Like she helped a lot.
Who was it? Which one?
My big brother.
Of course, it was a big brother.
My big brother.
They're always the bullies.
But you know,
you're the middle child. I forgot.
Yeah, I'm the middle child. But yeah, you know, and I know that therapy did help me overcome that and, you know, face what I was going through at that time and react in a different way, which eventually did contribute to me having a much better relationship with my siblings.
Yeah.
Because they kind of understood, like, oh shit, well, maybe the way that we're acting is not helping her out.
Yeah.
So, yes. So, mad props to my mama for taking me to therapy. Way to go. Mad props to Medi-Cal in California for paying for my therapy. Way to go. The second time I did get therapy, was when Robert died.
Oh, yeah, I do remember
But
you ended up forced.
I ended up in one of those straight jackets.
Así estaba.
No.
She was bouncing off the walls like this.
Yeah. I made a couple of holes, but it's okay. I'm just kidding.
I've been trying to escape. She was girl interrupted. That's what you were. Girl interrupted. Which is nothing wrong with it, guys. We make fun of it now because you're able to laugh about it.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's still nothing to, like, make fun of if people are in that situation. It's just,
I think that's another reason that I did want to bring up the mental health.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. I know for a fact that when Robert died, I didn't feel like I was depressed. Obviously, you go through that depression, you know, the sadness. You know, you go through your stages of grief. But this happened years after he passed away.
Yeah.
When I was like, oh, I'm good. But here's the thing. I remember going to the doctors, and one doctor had given me some antibiotics for something, and then a few weeks later, another doctor in the same clinic ended up giving me antidepressants because he was like, you're depressed. And I was like, no, I'm not. What are you talking about? I laugh all the time. He was like, you're depressed. And I was like, am I supposed to act depressed? You know, I didn't feel depressed. Mm-hmm. But, obviously, the doctor was able to see something that I wasn't seeing about the way that I was living my life, that when I ended up in that situation. So what happened was, apparently, it seems like these medications combined with the living situation that I was in at the time, they counteracted. It got me very droopy, just very out of it. It's kind of like my friend was mentioning that his therapist gives him some sort of Xanax or something.
Oh, girl.
So he's like, I can't take that because, you know, it makes me like out of it. And I understand how that makes you feel because I did feel that way with that medication. But I remember taking the medication, and in my mind, in my conscious mind, I was taking this medication with water. Little did I know that apparently that what I thought was a bottle of water was actually a bottle of acetone. So I ended up in the hospital. Lucky for me, my then roommate's sister came into the house. She would come over after school. She found me passed out on the floor, called the ambulance, and they took me to White Memorial Medical Center, and they had me on a 72-hour hold because they thought I tried to commit suicide. To this day, I know I did not intentionally attempt to commit suicide. Mm-hmm. But that 72 hours that I was on that hold, they forced me to have therapy, and they had me see specialists for a few weeks, and it did come out like, oh, well, here's something you didn't work through when you were supposed to, which is Robert's death. And I was like, but I'm not depressed. I'm not depressed. The reason I felt that I wasn't depressed, and I don't know if I've mentioned this to you. Every year since Robert died, until year about 10 or 12, maybe 10, year 10, every year, whether it was his birthday, our anniversary, or the anniversary of his death, my windows would always end up open. Wherever I was. In the middle of the night, the windows would open up, and the room would smell of Marlboro Red and coffee with CK1, which is his perfect scent. So really? I always felt like in those days he would come and hug me at night, kind of like to remind me, like, hey, I'm right here. So that made me feel like I'm not depressed. I can't be depressed. Like, I get to smell him and feel his embrace, because it felt like he was coming and hugging me. And when I told my therapist, the therapist told me, but is he actually holding you? Are you sure this is really happening, or is it in a dream? Afterwards, I realized it was all in the dream.
Because you knew it was the anniversary, automatically it will lead you into that
dream. Even if I didn't remember the date, that dream would come to me. And my grandmother did eventually tell me that a few weeks after he passed, she woke up in the middle of the night and saw that I was talking. I was sitting up on the couch because I was living with her, and I was laying down on the couch, and I would sit up and talk to him. And when she got up to go to the restroom, she saw me and she thought that I was talking to her, and then she realized that I was asleep.
Oh shit!
So that was my coping mechanism, kind of.
You were living your life and you saw him through your dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah. Poof. And this is all things that I didn't realize
until
I went to therapy. And then I was like, oh, click, there we go. Okay, so that's what's going on.
Yeah.
It's not that he's coming back, because he's dead. He's gone. He's living his extra afterlife, you know?
He could still be with you.
You know, but he's not going to be coming and opening my window and smoking the Marlboro Reds and drinking coffee and spraying on a bottle of cologne, CK1, and he'll hug me in my bed. He's not going to be doing that every night.
Yeah.
You know, in my head and in my heart, I felt it because that's how much I missed him.
Uh-huh.
And even though I kept pushing him back every year, like every day I'd try to keep pushing him back into the back of my mind.
Yeah.
Like my own mind and my own heart, and that pain was bringing him back.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, but it's true. So when I say take care of your mental health, I am not calling you crazy. I'm saying we need to take care of ourselves.
Mm-hmm. There's always something there. No one has the perfect life. I mean, you could go from a straight A student into going into, drugs, or you could be a straight A student who has so much pressure on top of you that you get overwhelmed and you need someone to talk to. You could be a student that is failing because of child abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, whatever it is. Someone always goes through something. You go through a marriage that, unfortunately you lose a loved one. You go through a marriage that is a toxic relationship. You go through cheating scandal. And, it's just everyone goes through a different situation in life that can be something small for somebody else, but it's like the biggest thing in the world for you. You just need to talk to someone else who is not a friend, a family, who knows your life, who's, unfortunately, let's just be honest, who's going to have your back at that moment. You may need a sense of clarity from an outsider and a professional, because this is their job. This is their career. This is what they went to school for. This is what they learned. And they will ask the right questions to get to the root of things to help you better yourself. Because they're not going to do it to, keep talking to you and try to make you better how they think you should be better. They talk to you how you can make yourself better at the end of the day. So there's nothing wrong with therapy. There's nothing wrong with going to talk to a professional. There's nothing wrong with it. If you don't believe in it, that's cool, but don't judge others for doing it either. Period.
Exactly. I mean, I've had that experience. Like I said, I've had a very good experience with mental professionals. Not that I am mental, which I kind of am, but
I'm
mental. But I do feel that it has helped, and I know in this point in my life, I do feel I need to go to it again. Sometimes you just need to kind of get that outsider's perspective. You have friends. Everyone has friends, and if you don't have friends, go outside and get yourself some friends. Everyone has friends, but a friend will be there to
back you up,
support you and
period. Oh, well, at least that's a real friend. Let's just be honest. Someone's going to have your back. You could speak your mind, and they're not going to get mad at you. Or vice versa. They can say something you don't like, and you're not going to get mad at them. You are just straight up and honest and move on from it, period. I mean, my best relationships have been my girlfriends. Like I always say, the most stable relationship I've ever had has been with my best friend since the 6th grade. Never a fight, never an argument, no judgment, no nothing. But at the end of the day, Can she help me mentally? Probably not. She will be my ride or die, take me to the therapist, hold my hand, and take me back home. But I will probably need someone professional to get me right all up in here. Period.
Yeah, and it's true. Because, like I said, if you were to come up to me and tell me, oh, you know what, maybe not you, but you know, one of my girlfriends were to come up to me and tell me, my man, I don't know, cheated on me. My man hit me. My man did this.
Robert better never dare, girl. Okay. I will cut his pee off real quick.
I'm like,
you hold him down.
Me, as a friend, as somebody that loves and cares for my friend, I'm going to be like, leave that motherfucker. Like, a la chingada, let me go cut him right now. You know? Just like Nadia did with my car keys. Well, with her car keys to my boyfriend back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, you want to jump in and protect your friend. A therapist, when you go and sit down with a therapist, the therapist is going to be like, okay, where do you feel this relationship went wrong? Where do you think he went to, I don't know, feel that it was okay to raise his hand or okay to stray from marriage, you know? And the therapist is going to make you see not just his mistakes, but if you were at fault in any way, shape, or form, what was your fault?
And better yourself as a person from that.
Yes, and she's not going to tell you, you need to go get a divorce, or he or she.
No, they will probably ask you, like, what do you want out of this relationship after this, you know, incident? Yeah. What can you move on from this incident? Is this someone that you're going to still be able to be with? It is a more in-depth, I'm going to say it like that because that's the only way how to say it, in-depth way to get to the root of your issues, of your inner demons, of your inner problems, period.
Yeah, and I mean, you know this.
You crazy? Yeah.
Duh. Only since day one. But lately I've been a lot into the self-help books, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Self-development and whatnot. And I have found myself, a therapist is not going to just go ahead and tell you divorce is fool, you know. They're going to try and work with the situation and, you know, eventually bring in the other party to get both ends of the spectrum and have you guys decide.
Understand the situation.
Like, this is my mistake. This is your mistake. Is this mistake worth enough? Is our love or our relationship or our family or our home worth enough for us to try and make this work? And if not, well then, you know what? It's not supposed to be. Yeah. And I think that's one of the things that I've seen myself questioning a lot right now. And you know this, obviously. But I also feel like maybe there might be something wrong with me. I have a commitment issue. I know what I'm doing.
She does have a commitment issue.
Like, because I know what I'm doing.
She has a commitment issue.
So, you know, sometimes you just need that person. You need Switzerland to help you out.
Switzerland! Yay! We love Switzerland!
I love Switzerland.
I love me some Swiss chocolates.
Oh. Have you ever had therapy in your life?
I've never had therapy. I've known that I've needed it maybe since I was a teenager, a preteen. I know that I've had moments of depression, but I've also have found myself with my own self-help mechanisms that have helped me through it. I've had postpartum depression after Bella. I've had postpartum depression with Betty. But like I said, I feel like I've gotten myself through those situations on my own, but I do have deeper demons, deeper situations in my life that have happened when I was a child that I know that I've needed to go to someone and talk to. I've been told by someone I no longer speak to, this is a relationship that was toxic, a friendship and a familyship that was toxic that I no longer talk to for my own mental health. There you go. had mentioned like, oh, this is something that you need to go talk to people, like someone professional too, and blah blah blah. And I understand I need to, but I also, like I told her, no one can force me to go do it. I have to be ready to go do it on my own. Yeah. Me at 34, have I gotten it done? No. Will I ever do it? Maybe. But I feel like I have to be 100% comfortable with the situation for me to go. Mm-hmm. So I haven't done it in that sense, but I've had great, amazing counselors. I've had great, amazing teachers who I've had the pleasure to still have a friendship with or still have contact with that have helped me through certain situations. So I know in that sense I have been blessed that I've been able to help and have been able to be taken out of my dark moments and my dark circles, because like I said, we're all not perfect. Everything is not all honky-dory. There is bad moments in people's lives, and it will sneak up on you at the wrong moment. So I know that I've had insecurities that I've had from a child, from my teenage years, as a woman, that I've projected onto like Robert in our relationship. But luckily, as much as an asshole he is a great, loving, patient person that I may flip in one moment and he may flip in the other, but I know that at the end of the day, he will always be there to hold me, to catch me. So I do have that resource of a husband now, of a, someone to like catch me, like I said, but I need to go to therapy. I know that. Like, I know that I overwhelm myself. I have OCD. I'm paranoid. I do have moments of depression, because depression doesn't always mean sadness. It could mean, mean being upset, being angry, being bothered, and to the point where you don't want to do things. It's just different depression levels. So I know I need to go to a therapist. I'll go when I'm ready. I wouldn't want to push someone to go do something they don't want to, so I don't like to be pushed to do something I don't want to, or that I'm ready for. Because I feel like if I'm being pushed to go do it, I'm not gonna open up. I'm gonna be my bratty self and be that bitchy self and just close up and not say shit, or just lie, or tell them what they want to hear or whatever. I want to make sure I get the full effect and the full, what's the word that I'm looking for? Like,
benefit.
Yeah. There you go. The full benefit of the situation, period.
Yeah. And it does kind of apply to what I was saying when I went to go see my first therapist. I wasn't ready for it. So obviously,
and that's why you didn't open up.
The biggest subject that I needed to open up about, which was the rape, I didn't open up about. And that's where it kind of, like gets you kind of like, wait, well, I'm just going to therapy for fun. Like, I did get help for other things.
But not the main
But then again, I was a minor, so I had no choice in it. I had to go.
Yeah.
But as an adult, like I said, now that I want to go and I am looking into therapy around here, I'm going to do that, because I know at the end of the day, you have to know how to tell the signs of your need for therapy. My therapy up to somewhat recently, had been going to church, opening up in my church community, and doing my youth groups and doing my adult groups and stuff. And that was therapeutic for me. But I haven't done it in a minute. So guess what? Homegirl's going bananas right now. And I'm seeing Yes, a little. To become a better individual and a better friend and a better auntie and a better sister and a better daughter and a better human being. I know I need to go and get that little recap of therapy. So, and you know what? I also realized, because I know I've heard it, but I just didn't pay attention, that nowadays you can even do your therapy with your therapist online.
Oh yeah.
Like,
well, think about it now with COVID.
Like, yes, I don't want to go into the office.
You'd be like,
I want to be dressed from the waist up and
Dr.
wear
Kim,
my from the waist down.
I don't have a drinking problem.
I have no drinking problem.
But Dr. Kim, let me tell you, you're my friend.
And best friend. I love you so much. Yes.
Hold on, you're getting into it a little too much, girl. Let's top you
You know
off.
what it is?
Because there's you sleeping here, we could top you off.
Yeah. But yes, so as we close off this whole series of I Am, we want to go ahead and remind you guys. Obviously, we ended up talking more about mental health than anything, which is important.
Yes.
Because everybody needs to take care of their mental health. Because your mind is connected to your spirit and it's connected to your health. It's connected to everything.
Aura, your soul,
yes.
your energy, your everything.
And you want to make sure everything is balanced in order for you to live the most amazing life that you can.
Mm-hmm.
Therapy is not I'm going to go today and I'm going to be fixed in one or two sessions. It's not like that. Therapy is a time-consuming, time-taking process. And in order for you to improve yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, it takes time. So don't expect a 5-minute cure. That's not going to work. If you do not have someone to talk to, make sure you're looking for resources. Audible has amazing books available. Lots of them are for free once you get your membership. It really is worth it. So make sure you're using all the resources possible. Remember, we're women. We're strong.
We're resilient.
We're resilient. We kick ass. Some of us bring lives into this world. Some of us help raise them. Nobody can put us down. Fuck anyone that tries to put us down.
Women supporting women, period.
That is the goal.
No matter what. You think there's someone bad talking about you, you stand up, you put your big girl panties on, and you put it in front of you and you say, what is your problem? Let's fix it. Let's resolve it. Let's move on from it.
Yes.
Period. Supporting small businesses owned by women. Supporting women representatives who are in your party if you decide, whatever. Just, we all have to remember, as women, we are our own community and we should be helping each other out and guiding each other into the right path for that person. And then for those young girls that we are all raising, to show them that we are resilient, we are strong, we are powerful, and that we will rise up from any problems that come up in our lives, any humps that come in our lives. Our girls will see us, who we are as adult women, and they will become this next generation of women and girls who will keep supporting women, period.
And be stronger for it.
Yep.
So, last note, if you haven't already, make sure you're checking out and you're voting in your cities. Make sure you go out and vote.
That you're registered to vote.
Make sure you're registered to vote, because you can't go out to vote if you're not registered. Go out and vote. I just casted my vote this week, so do your part, because there are parties over there. BP. There are representatives out there that are trying to still kind of bring us back to the olden times when women had no rights and women had no words. And guess what? We fucking do. We fucking rock. And in order for us to stand up for our own rights and for our own justice, we need to go out there and vote. Because guess what? Right now we can't vote. And as long as we use our power of voting, we can make sure we're defending our own rights. So you guys, thank you so much for watching. It's been a pleasure, like always. Bye. We will be seeing you next week with a whole new episode. Alright guys, have a great week. Good night. Bye.